We've looked at inline style sheets and we've looked at internal style sheets. This final form of a style sheet is called an external style sheet. And the reason it's called external is it's because the styling information, this information here, is held in a completely separate file. And at the top of our HTML document, inside the head section, we basically link to that style sheet so that the HTML document knows where to find the style sheet. And the simple format of this link is as shown here. Link rel equals open quotes style sheet close quotes type, and then we've got open quotes text / CSS quotes, href equals quotes, and then the name of the style sheet close quotes, and then close the link. Now, I'm not going to go into all the details of this, and your link, if you check out an HTML document, might be a lot more complicated. It might have other parameters like media and so on. But for now, we're going to just look at this particular declaration and see how it can be used to style this text. Now, at the moment, we've got H1 color red. Let's remove all formatting from there. This declaration of the style sheet is a link to an external style sheet. And what we mean by that is the style, the information, the cascading style sheet, the styling information is held in a separate file. That file is called mystyle.css, which actually doesn't exist. We can actually put anything in here, and when this page is rendered in a browser, like down here, the browser will go off and try to find the style sheet according to where you tell it that the style sheet is. And this is relative to the HTML page itself. So in this case, we would expect the style sheet to be in the same folder on the server as this HTML document. But it could be anywhere. And just to highlight that, I want to show you something. Let's go to Google, and I'm going to do a search. Let me just go to google.com. I'm going to do a search for anything. Let's say Van Gogh. And I'm going to go to the first web page here, and I'm going to right click view page source, and I'm looking for their style declaration. Here we are, link rel equals that shortcut from link href. Here's the style sheet here. Copy that information down, and that's relative to the HTML page itself. Now the HTML page is here, vangoghgallery.com, so I should be able to paste that in and see the style sheet for this particular site, and there we are. So I'm going to copy that and show you that this really is an external style sheet, because I'm going to paste it in here, and when I do, this HTML page is going to be rendered using the style sheet of the Van Gogh Gallery website. So let me paste it in and watch what happens to the headers. Okay, you've just seen the headers change. Now we could add something else in here. Let me just put in paragraph text, and we can fill it with some, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing there. Fill it with some text. There we go. And you can see now that the text is also styled according to the Van Gogh the Van Gogh Gallery website using their style sheet. Let's try somebody else's style sheet. Let's go back to Google and type in cake recipe, and we'll pick any one of these. Let's pick the first one, see if we can find the style sheet for this one. Okay, I'm going to just do a search here for style. There we go. And I can find a style sheet link just here. So let me just copy that, and we'll go back to our example again, and we'll paste this style sheet in instead and see what happens. And you can see there that the styles have changed again. So this truly is an external style sheet. Clearly though, we wouldn't be using somebody else's style sheet for our own web page. But let me show you how it should work. What I've got here is some space on my own server, and I've got an HTML document and I've got a style sheet. At the moment, if I go and visit the HTML document, let me just drag it in here, you can see that it's this same example we've been using. So the HTML document is basically this, and without the extra paragraph that we put in. So on my server I've uploaded basically this HTML file that you see here, and you can see it in a web browser. You can see the headline up here, the title up here, HTML5, CSS3 and JavaScript demo. That's because that's the title in our HTML code. If I view the source, you can see that's exactly what it is. But there's no declaration for an external style sheet. So let's put one in. All I need to do is right click and view edit, and it will open in a text editor for me. And here we are, here's the text editor. And all I need to do is go into the head section, type in the link to my style sheet, and make sure the style sheet is spelt right, mystyle.css, mystyle.css. There we go, and I can save that, and now my FTP program will upload it for me. Now let's bring back in the web page and we'll refresh. And you can see we've got the headlines blue with a yellow background again. So let's have a look at the style sheet. And you can see it's the same familiar style sheet we created in the other two examples. So now what we have is the HTML and the styles separate. The main content of the page is in the HTML file, and the formatting and styling is found in the mystyle CSS file. Now, where this becomes really useful is when you want to add more pages to your website. So let's just add another page. I've got this page here, I've just created it. It's a second page, I've called it page2.html, and title a second page, and it's just got one headline and a little bit of text. What I need to do is insert the declaration for the style sheet. So let me just copy it from the other file. I'm going to paste it in to this one and save. And then I'm going to upload that file to the server. I need to refresh this because it's not showing. I've only just saved it. Refresh, here we go. Here we go, page 2. I'm going to drag it across. And then let's go back to the web browser, and we've got the first page here, which is the index. But what happens if I put in page2.html? You can see the second page is loading as well, and the second page has the same formatting, and that's because we've got a link to the external style sheet mystyle.css. Exactly the same as the index page we looked at a moment ago. So now we've got HTML page, both using the same style sheet. And one of the big advantages of doing this is that we can then add more styles to this style sheet, add everything to a central style sheet, and if we want to make changes, we only have to make changes to one file. And of course, there is another big advantage. When a web browser goes to the page for the first time, let's say it goes to index.html, it will need to download the style sheet. That style sheet then is in the cache of the browser, so that when it goes to this page and it sees it needs the same style sheet, it doesn't have to download it again. It's already in the browser cache. So it will speed up the loading of your pages. So that's external style sheets.